And we're back. Good afternoon. Doubleheader here today at Bulldog Stadium. This is the JV version of the afternoon. And forgive me if I don't sound as sharp with the numbers, but I'll do my best. But Bedford comes right at it, and that looks like Evan Shabati, who gets the first goal for the JV side. Evan, the younger brother of Tyler Sabati, who was an outstanding football player here at Bedford a few years ago. Last I knew, Tyler had gone into the Air Force Academy. Good start for the Bulldogs here. Sabati comes right back out on the wing. And let's see if we can get some numbers here for you on the face-off. Sabati comes right back in, and that's going to be number 17. On the face-off, he gets the ball down to John Kramer on the attack. Kramer works his way in, gets a nice left-handed shot, and that gets saved by the Windham goalie. So the Bulldogs on defense for the first time in the game. Pretty static defense for the Bulldogs, man-to-man, of course. Windham in a 3-3 offense. Pretty basic again, much like the varsity. Nothing fancy. Try to move the ball quickly. Bedford almost gets the ball back. That's Jeremy Lorendo. And a good snag by the goalie, Ian Fletcher. And they'll start off with the clear here. A little log pass out to the middle. Call that a good old Gilman from the old days. Ball gets checked out of his stick. Should be a push right there on Windham. They're going to let it go. And the ball is on the ground. And the face-off midfielder, I'm not quite sure who this is. It's not on my roster, so I apologize. Back in. Good left-handed shot. What's his name? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. So, being told that that's probably Zach Griffin, number 17, who has been facing off and is out there on defense right now. And if this is the same numbers, they got some varsity players for Windham out there. That's Denton, 22, O'Connor, 4. They were both attackmen in the first game. So Joe Young with, as I said in the first half of the broadcast, with a very light roster of only 14 field players. They're going to give Bedford a good run here. So this will be a good test. Good test. So that goes off the pole of Brendan Thornton. And Windham looking for some identity out there on their offense. Good defense by Bedford. And kind of a face dodge turned into a shot by Windham that goes out of bounds. And that's number 29, Reagan Jones, a junior midfielder for Windham. Good cut here by Denton. He's looking for the ball. Ball's up in the air. Batted down by a Windham player. Is he going to get it before it goes out? And he scoops it backhand. And I think they're going to call it out of bounds. They are. So that's going to be Bedford ball on the far side, right in front of the Bedford bench. And this is, again, Zach Griffin, who's getting some time here in the first quarter for Bedford. He goes to his right hand and no backup for Bedford. So that's one of the things you want to start clearing up this early in the season here. You need to have somebody when you get a break like that, especially when it's a midfielder or a defender coming over half field on a break. You've got numbers and you need to get somebody that can back up. So Windham will start off with their clear, and that's Chase Hunt in the goal. Chase Hunt was actually on the watch list for some reason from the New Hampshire High School Sports poll for an all-state candidate. So not sure why he's playing JV. Perhaps he was injured earlier on in the season, is just getting back on the field. But Jazokas and Milano were the two goalies last week against Winnicott. Nice turn by the Bedford midfielder. Bedford will go with a two-man game from behind. Try to work the inside again. Getting numbers inside. There's the inside, just as we said. And the goalie will end up with the ball after the check. A very delayed reaction to the clear here, but it goes out of bounds from the pass. So we can hear Coach Howe on the other side barking out commands, getting his JV players set in the position he wants them in. So that's going to be, again, off the post. Zach Griffin with a good rip. Up, it's offsides on Blue. Blue stepped. Ball's going to go white. Yep, he was clearly offsides. So Zach will pick up the ball. Should have a slow, or excuse me, there should be a fast whistle there. Not sure why they didn't do that. But there's Griffin, and he just rips one. So Zach Griffin coming down from the varsity level, mixing it up with some of the other varsity players from Windham. He gets a good peg there. 2-0 Bedford. And under 4 minutes here in the first quarter. So Tegan McConnell is going to take the face-off here for the Bulldogs. Give Griffin a break. See what he can do. O'Connell holds his own. Good box out by Windham. And they need the ball here. And number 32 for the Jaguars comes up with it, but they're going to get called. At least Bedford's going to get called here. Probably a legal screen. So Bedford back on defense. That's Cole Deal on defense. Defensive midfielder for the Bulldogs. And they're looking for a big slide here from the defense. Good rollback. Good rollback, but you want that play to be in motion. You don't want that to be a static play where the rollback comes and there's just one pass and he stands. You want that thing on the run. So an errant pass is broken up by Spencer Henderson. And the Bulldogs are fast breaking down the field. There's one rotation, but he breaks through. Nice save by the goalie. Good fast break by the Bulldogs there. But a good outlet pass by the goalie gets it upfield for Windham. And now they'll press on offense. So they'll get their numbers out there. And it looks like Furtado coming out for Windham. He was a standout defender in the first game for the varsity, and they're going to put a short stick in his hand. Give him a run. Let's see what that young man can do. Great stick skills with Furtado. So a missed check. Windham comes in, and they score. So just as I spoke, it might have been Furtado. So we got 2-1. Bedford. Griffin will come out for the face-off again with Evan Sabati. Far side, long pole defender. Luke Sy will be on the wing. Tough spot for Ian Fletcher, though, on the goal for him to be in. O'Connor comes in. Again, the attackman from the first game. He's playing some midfield, and they're going to pull him off. And they'll switch it up. Errant pass, going to get picked up by Brendan Thornton. Good play by Thornton. All right, he walks the dog a little bit. He gets it out there, switches hands. Nice face dodge, stays in his left. He's got a wing, but he's going to take the shot, and it's going to hit a body out front. No one seems to know where the ball is. Should be a 2-on-1 ball for Bedford here. Slight push, and Griffin gets it. They're going to pull it out here. Slow things down, bring the offensive midfielders back in. So watch 2-2-2 here. And that's the end of the first quarter. And in that quarter, we had some pretty good play by Bedford on offense. Some couple of decent saves by the goalie on both sides. And a good mix of defense as well.
Either 10-minute stop or 12 minutes. Okay, it's the same. Coaches decide. Yeah. Kind of lost that sunshine.
Was it Griffin? Oh, it was Griffin. No, it was Griffin. So at the start of the second quarter here at Bulldog Stadium, JV boys lacrosse, 2-1. Zach Griffin with the second goal of that quarter, along with Evan Sabati getting his first goal of the day. A good face-off here. Zach gets a stick on it. Another good box out by Zach Griffin. He drops it momentarily. Ball's still on the ground. And Windham comes away with it. So good face-off there. Good follow-up by Griffin to get his own ground ball, but loses it. And now Windham comes back. That's John Nasser playing some defense up top. Good bump. This is Griffin again with Nasser to his right. And they're just going to, again, there's nobody on the crease for Windham. This has been a traditional set for them. Starting off in a circle, then they'll bring somebody in. And this is a break. Good save. So another good save by Ian Fletcher. Remain with Windham. It'll be Ryan Park on the far side for Windham. Being played by Brendan Thornton. Thornton's having a good game so far. Running time here at the JV level. So 12-minute run time, quarters. Just under the 10-minute mark. Good breakthrough on the Windham side. Dribbles in. I think it hit a body coming in. There's our boy Furtado again. And he goes to his left hand. He gets a shot off. And the ball goes out of bounds with no backup. Bedford will clear the ball here. Good stretch upfield by the defender. Gets the ball up the field to John Kramer. And Kramer's going to slow it down at the behest of Coach Howe. They're going to set up a play here. All right, they're going 100. Simple rotation off the triangle at the top of the field. You can see the rotation happen here with a pick. And he tries to get the shot off and comes off his stick funky. Good check in the middle there. Luke Carr with the check. Ball's on the ground. Got to get it before it goes over. And they did not call the over and back there. So it's a break for Windham. They'll get a break here. And now, okay, he's going to call a cross check here. So Windham is going to go extra man offense. It's going to be on Kevin Sheridan for the Bulldogs. Didn't really look too serious at cross check, but Windham will start their first extra man offense of the day. So Bedford will keep Zach Griffin on the field in the box. He'll string top to bottom, side to side. See what Windham can do. They're looking for the cut through and a missed pass. It's a good look by Windham. Just wasn't there. So the ball will go to Bedford. And they will clear. And hopefully they can kill this penalty. And that ball is going to, and they're off. No, they're not offsides. Thankfully, they had a man back. So it could have been, but wasn't. So this is Denton from the varsity squad with the ball. And that's going to be a push on 24. Ball's going to go back to blue. And Denton will pick it up. Over to Furtado, his varsity teammate. That ball's going to go out of bounds. So having been a defender myself, going from a long pole to a short stick and changing the dynamics of your follow-through can be a little bit of a difficult task, if not for the first couple of throws until you get your dynamics and your geometry down again. Ball gets overfield quickly for Bedford, over to number 2, and he tries to pluck a corner, and it goes just wide and over the top of the crossbar. That's Tyler Daldo. Nice, good right-handed shot there. And not a lot of talk on Windham's side of the defense. But let's see what Bedford can do with the ball now. They got to cut through with Griffin. He gets checked. Again, that's Denton. So actually a pretty good play by a varsity level attackman on defense, Mr. Denton. And Daldo will get the ball back up top. He's going to go with a set play here and a rotation by the Bulldogs. Good bounce shot. Got handcuffed a little bit on the follow through, so he didn't get all the wood on it that he wanted. But good play. Denton's going to twist Griffin around and slow it down to get it to the box. So much like the varsity game, Windham really slows things down. They do not like to rely on their skills and try and challenge the defense. They really look to get it to their outer wings and hopefully beat their defenders, but not a lot of set plays or motions on the corners. They really play a set offense. So a good bump there on defense. And they're going to call a push, even though the ball went out of bounds off of Denton's stick. So the ball is going to go back to them. And Blue will bring it in on the near side here. So Denton's on the crease there. They look to feed number 36, Matt Desmaris. Does not get through. Griffin picks it up, and he gets bumped. Ball's on the ground. And there's Denton again. And Windham will start back on offense. Good inside feed to Furtado, and he gets a shot off. So Patrick Furtado showing some offensive prowess after playing a very good game on defense for the varsity. Nobody's covering on the upside for the defense on the clear, or against the defense, that is. Errant pass. Oh, gets picked up by Daldo, and his momentum carried the ball right out of his stick, and he as well. So Windham will get the ball back to clear here. Let's see what Bedford can do on their ride. Yep, there he goes. Good bump by Daldo. And they get the ball back. Bedford gets a shot off. Nice save. Good press ride here by Bedford. And there's an opening up at the top. Same play or same clear by Windham. The up guy not getting covered by the midfielders. Good hustle on the defensive side here by John Nasser getting into the box. And again, I wish I could tell you who number 42 is on the Windham side. He is not on either the varsity or the JV roster. And he did play in the varsity game. He was out there for a few shifts in that game. So Ryan Dan over to the mystery Windham player. Nice shot. And that mystery Windham player just got himself an apple. A big assist. Nice skip pass across right into Nathan Crowley, a freshman. And Crowley gets the nice left-handed blast. So at roughly the quarter, Windham ties it up at 2. So there was a little bit of a time advantage with possession to Windham for most of that quarter so far. We're coming down on the minute and a half mark. Let's see what Bedford can do here on a possession. That'll be Zach Griffin out there on the face-off again. Good pursuit in the face-off X by Bedford, but Windham end up getting the ball. And they're going to push it in. They're going to try some quick break here. Good turn and pass by the LSM defender there, Jake Goliaths. Oh, boy, this is a tough one. Goliath Sados, I guess, is how you would say that. We're just going to call him Galley. So Furtado showing some stick skills again out there. Nice pass inside and a good turn again by Crowley. So Furtado, the defender from the varsity game, he gets his second assist of the game so far. And Reagan Jones, my mistake on the call there, Reagan Jones gets the goal for Windham to put them up 3-2 with a running clock time of about 20 seconds. Probably will just barely get this face-off in, and the horn's going to go. So we're at the 10-second mark. Number 4, O'Connor in there facing off, an attackman, varsity attackman. So Joe Young throwing the kitchen sink out there at the Bulldogs right now as the quarter ends. So Windham will take a 3-2 lead at halftime over to the benches. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes and pick up the second half. Oh, okay. Welcome back to Bulldog Stadium for the second half of the JV contest against the Windham Jaguars. Good start for the Bulldogs, with Evan Sabati starting the scoring first quarter, and the second goal being scored by Zach Griffin, who's been punched in on his time card since the beginning of the game and has seemed to have been out there for much of the first two quarters, doing face-off duties, offensive and defensive on the midfield. But the Bulldogs are down 3-2 at the start here, with some late goals by Windham, and notably Patrick Furtado playing some offense here. So Griffin gets the ball right up off the face-off, comes right down the gut, has a nice shot, but the Windham goalie makes the save and clears it up quickly, and that's going to go to O'Connor. And he gets it inside, dumps it right on the crease. Good collapse there. That's Jack Nessel-Williams. So good play by the Bulldogs. They'll get it back here, and they'll start the clear. Ball will come into the goalie. He gets played as he had to come outside the crease as his 4 seconds were up. And Windham gets the ball back. So Fletcher had time there. He should have tried to move away and at least get some distance between himself and the riding attackman. And Windham gets the ball back here. So 2 17s against each other here. That'll be Griffin and Ryan Dan. Dan will get the ball up top again. And there'll be a crank and a good goal right there. Good goal. It'll be on Fletcher's offside, about belt level, which is very, very difficult for a goalie to catch up to. And that was Crowley on the give to number 40, Casey Kramer, who got a really nice shot in there. So Crowley making his offensive appearance out there with a goal and an assist so far for the Jaguars. Bedford needs a good possession here. Griffin gets his face-off clean, and they need to slow it down here. All right, you can hear Coach Howe out there telling the Bulldogs to yellow up, slow the pace down. Let's get into our offensive set. So he'll leave Griffin out there with Evan Sabati, scored both goal scorers in the first half. So going to get a good bump and dodge here. Gets outside the hash marks. He's going to have to give it up. Coach Howe wants him to reset. Sees the opening. There it is. Good shot. Good shot. So that's John Kramer getting his first assist, and he gets it into Tyler Daldo, who gets his first goal. So it's 4-3, a little under 9 minutes here in the third quarter. And that was a nice play. They slowed it down. Griffin got the ball back to X with the attack. And that shifted the defense just slightly enough for Daldo to get open in the middle, which is so important in this game. So again, O'Connor comes in for the faceoff, scrappy attackman as he is, and he wins his second faceoff of the game. Windham back on attack and the offense. So again, the Bedford Bulldog coaching staff, very verbal between Coach Howell and Coach Roth. Nice pass inside the middle, beautiful play. So Windham looking a little sharper right now. They look even a little more sharp than the varsity looked in the first game. Finding the center, getting open. Casey Kramer again. And it looks like he got the ball into the mystery man, number 42. And I believe that mystery man is one for one today. He's got a goal and assist. 7 minutes in the third. Griffin wins that face-off. And now the Bulldogs again down by 2. Need a good possession. The Bulldogs going to run a play here. Going to try and isolate Sabati again. Sabati gets a good head fake on O'Connor. He breaks through. He goes to his left hand. Misfires as the slide came over to him from Nathan Crowley. Crowley going both ends of the field, playing offense and defense. So they look to get it up top. Oop, and he steps in, Sabati with a shot. And that's the second time Sabati's shot looked a little funky. Not sure if it's coming off his strings right or not, but that went far short of the mark. Good pass through the midfield. I think Daldo saw something there. Ball goes over half field. Windham gets it back. And they're going to push it. They're going to push it. And now Coach Young has them pull it out. So Windham will get their offensive guys on the field with Ryan Dan, Casey Kramer. And that ball goes out of bounds, so we're going to go back the other direction. Bedford clearing. Let's see how Windham presses here on their ride. They've got everything covered low. So Bedford defender outruns the ride, gets the ball up. That's Kevin Sheridan with a touch. Not sure what the call was there that has the ball going the opposite direction. But here's Mr. Denton again. Little shake and bake there on the attack ride, and he gets it over half field. And that's back to Mr. Kramer. So Denton will come off. And they'll bring Mr. Furtado back. Or is that Mr. O'Connor? No, that is Patrick Furtado. So Furtado's aching to put one in the net here. He's had a couple of good feeds, a couple of good shots. He has an assist. And that shot gets batted down. Bedford coming back, looking to break here. Not a good set here, but he finds the open man, makes a high pass that sails over John Kramer's head, and we're going the opposite direction. So much like the varsity game, Windham's clear will start with a midfielder down below GLE. And unlike Charest, they're going to try and start it with the goalie. Dan Charest had, by my count, 7 straight clears all by himself without any assist from the clearing personnel for Windham in that first game. But Windham will come back on offense here with about 3.5 minutes left in the third. Misplay by Daldo, or my mistake, John Nasser. Ball's on the ground again, and Bedford will move it. They need to look for the open men here. They're going to get double teamed, and that's going to be a penalty. That's going to be a push. And that'll put Bedford on extra man. So Nathan Crowley, we've talked his name several times here today. He's had a good offensive run, and he ends up in the box. So Bedford will go on extra man for the first time today. There's a nice rip, but it hits Denton. In 22, it hits the post and a misfire. So John Kramer getting a couple chances there. And then Cole Deal getting a chance and misfiring. Bedford will reset here. Got John Frangillo on the crease. First time we've called his name today. And there's another shot. Good backup, though. Okay, about 12, 13 yards out on that shot for John Kramer. Good left-handed midfielder. Or in the midfield slot, I should say. And here goes Sabati. Back over to Kramer. Kramer draws the defender. It's even strength for Windham now after the penalty to Crowley. And Griffin eyeballs the inside. Good collapse by the Windham defense. Ground ball attempt goes to the right side of the goalie, and it goes right into his stick from the defense. So they will start their clear with just coming up on a minute left in the third quarter, and he just guns it downfield. And that's going to be picked up by Luke Sy, and he'll get it over half field. So trading clears back and forth on either end of the field here for the most part in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And Bedford might be just slowing it down to try for last shot here. They got about 50 seconds left. And we're going to probably see a slash there on another misfire. And that's Alexander Gabri, fed by Zach Griffin. So coming up on 30 seconds here, there's a delayed penalty, which in lacrosse gives you almost a free play. And they're going to make the call right here. So let's see what the coaching staff does. If with the running clock, they might just hold the ball here so that they'll get the ball back at the beginning of the fourth quarter. There it is. There's the call by Coach Howe. So they're just going to hold it here. No loss of time other than the last few seconds of the penalty that they can start off with the ball at the beginning of the fourth. So we will end the fourth with Windham up 5-3. And we'll be back to start the fourth quarter in Bedford on offense in just a moment. A lot of times I've seen, Division I, they will sometimes, for the better games, the Pinkertons, Bedfords, Bishop Girton, they'll have two different crews. Right? They'll have one crew that does the varsity, one crew that does the JV game. So we are back at Bulldog Stadium for the start of the fourth quarter. Again, 12-minute running time quarters at the JV level. So it'll be imperative for Bedford to strike quickly to tie this one up. And of course, they'll need 3 goals at a minimum at this stage to pull a win out. So let's see what they run for. They're going to run a rotating circle, which is going to open up. Daldo did the smart thing there and did not pull the trigger. Look down again to Daldo. And they find the far side, and there it is. Great play. Now that was all Mr. Tyler Daldo on that, using his IQ to not fire away and just errantly shoot the ball, but to actually run and be disciplined the play and getting over to the far side to John Kramer. So that'll count as an extra man offensive goal, and some good strategy there from the holding of the ball in the third to running the play through here at the beginning of the fourth. So Bedford down by 1. Griffin has been effective as a face-off midfielder today. Let's see if he can get another and let Bedford start off with another good possession here. So Griffin does indeed win the face-off. Tristan Kerr comes off the field, and they'll bring the offensive midfielder out there. John Kramer tries to get another shot in there, but the ball hits the defender, and he muscles in to get it back, but throws it wildly towards the center and over John Frangillo's head. So Windham will push the ball up, get it into the box. They'll look down low, and that's an errant pass, and Bedford will clear the ball back. So Casey Kramer with the bad pass down low to Matt Desmaris. Good, smart play there by Daldo again. The attackman noticing that he was not going to be offsides and getting that ground ball. And that ball goes out of bounds. So we're trading clears here, again, like we were in the middle of that third. In time to just take a deep breath here for both teams. Close games like this, you can't be making unforced errors like that, no matter what level you're playing. And I'm sure the coaching staff on both sides will be telling their boys that as they move forward here. Don't want to make mistakes, especially with the clock running. We're now down to about 9 minutes, and you do not want to shoot yourself in the foot by making those kinds of mistakes. So we haven't seen any of the varsity players from the first game so far this fourth quarter. It's been all players on the JV roster. And that's a nice play. Good, weak bounce shot, which Ian Fletcher saw the whole way, even though there was traffic in front of him. And here's a good run upfield by Kevin Sheridan again. Sheridan's been effective with moving the ball upfield, not afraid to use his skills and body to get it up to the offense. So Zach Griffin gets it down to Daldo. Daldo back to Griffin. And watch for the crease here. All right, they're going to go back. This is a traditional Bedford offense with a rotating triangle. Got to make that first dodge, though. Doesn't work if Gabri doesn't make that first dodge into the alley and allow the triangle to rotate. And Windham will get the ball back. And as I spoke, here's Denton from the varsity, and he's going to shoot way outside, 15 yards out. And Fletcher saw that the whole way. Now Fletcher's moving his body. All right, good for him. He's not getting much help, though. And that ball goes wide on the pass. But good hustle there by Bedford. Ball's still in bounds, but they lose it. Good check. And Gabri salvages that last play by getting a good check on the defense. And a good bump. Bedford gets the ball back. That's Daldo. Now they need to pull it out and settle. Maybe even call a timeout here. No, he's going to slow it down. And we're going to have a backup. So Daldo's going to start this. Kramer's finding a little bit of a groove over there in that far side. Good left-handed shooter. just under 7 minutes. And here we go again. So another unforced error. And Windham will start the clear again. And again, their clear starts below GLE with a short stick midfielder, and he's just going to leg it out. And without the speed of a guy like Dan Charest, you risk running into a procedure call because you're not getting the ball into the box in 10 seconds. But that's all right. They made it here. And that's Furtado. Furtado makes an appearance in the fourth quarter. Their star defender in the varsity game. And by my count, that's going to be his first goal, but his third point of the day. Furtado showing some stick skills out there. So Bedford down by 2 again at 6-4. And we're just under the 6-minute mark. So Griffin needs to get this ball again. And he does. That's going to be well, they almost had a fast break, but they slowed it down. Another shot there and a good backup this time by Frangillo on the Kramer shot. So Kramer, Frangillo, and Daldo on the attack here. Daldo's had a good fourth quarter, second half. Over to Sabati. And back to Zach Griffin. Griffin's going to make a go of it here. Watch the rotation down low. He goes to his left and his right. Oh, nice look inside. And again, a little bit of a misfire there by Cole Deal. And this comes out to O'Connor, the varsity attackman. And he'll get picked up on defense and move it down to the attack. And Bedford will close that off. So about 4.5 minutes left. And Bedford's, because of the running clock, is probably going to be forced to push out on defense, get that ball back. They can't afford a long possession here. So there it goes. And Fletcher picks up the errant shot. And they headman it up. Not a bad pass, not a great pass, but Kramer gets possession. And he's going to protect the ball and keep it in the Bulldog side of the field here while they set up. So Sabati goes back in an invert. He's starting at X as a midi. They're going to see some movement. He gets slid to. That leaves Daldo wide open. And he shoots it on the ground, which wasn't a bad shot, but the goalie was there. Good setup and play. Good vision by Sabati there. And the goalie finds Furtado again. Furtado turns and passes, and that goes wide. And there's our clearing defender, Sheridan, who makes not one of the wisest choices there when you need the ball in possession. But let's see what the Bulldogs can do here on the ride. They really need to be aggressive. And they should be looking at their Windham players here to match up. So we got an opening here. We need to get a midi on this far side of the field. No one's covering number 20. And Harrison Schneller comes in on defense for Bedford. He picks up the ball. And let's see what Coach Young does with the offensive possession. Nice check there by Sheridan again. Sheridan's having a game. How often does that happen, that a mistake gets made by a player and he comes around in the next series and redeems himself? And he does it here again. Ball goes forwarded up. And that's Sheridan. Or my mistake, that's Kramer. Hits the outside of the net. Interference is being called here on a Bedford player, so it's going to be a free clear for Windham. Zach Griffin will pick up the ball. And that'll be Mr. Casey Kramer getting the touch for Windham. And we're coming up with about a minute and a half left in the game. And, yep, white ball. He's going to call withholding. Could have been called a hold as well on White, but that's okay. We'll take it. Zach Griffin, critical play here. Daldo. Ball goes back to Windham. Daldo showing his frustration out there. And as things go so often on transition, the defender from Windham puts it in as we hit the 1 minute mark. 7-4 Windham. And if my roster is correct, that was Adam Burke, junior long stick midfielder, scoring that goal. So Zach Griffin wins another face-off. Bedford very effective on face-offs today on both the varsity and JV side. Zach Griffin tries to dance through, hits the box and hits a Windham player. Down to 20 seconds. Bedford making one last attempt. Good save. And this should just about do it at the 10-second mark. O'Connor brings the ball over half field, pushes the ball down to the attack, and they're going to ride this one out. So Windham takes this one 7-4 against the Bedford squad. Bedford had their chances late in this game. Some mental errors, unforced errors, which I'm sure Coach Howe and Coach Roth will get those things smoothed out for them for their next contest. So as we leave you today from Bedford Bulldog Stadium, score 7-4 Windham Jaguars over the Bedford Bulldogs. In the varsity game, that final was 21-7. All right, Steve, we'll see you next time.